Welcome, everyone. Today we embark on a transformative journey into the realm of manifestation, exploring the powerful techniques that can help you manifest anything in just 3 days. Our minds are extraordinary instruments, capable of shaping our reality through focused intention and belief. In this speech, we will uncover the profound principles that govern the art of manifestation, revealing how the power of assumption, mental discipline, and emotional alignment can propel us toward our desires. Together, we'll delve into the significance of imagination, faith, and repetition, equipping you with the tools you need to shift your mindset and create the life you've always dreamed of. So let's open our hearts and minds to the possibilities that lie ahead and discover the incredible potential within us all. The power of assumption is one of the most transformative forces available to anyone who seeks to manifest their desires. Assumption, in its simplest form, is the act of accepting something as true without needing physical evidence. It is more than just wishful thinking or hope. Assumption is a mental state where the individual claims a desired reality as if it were already an established fact. The moment you embrace a new assumption, you engage with a law that shapes your reality in profound ways. Everything in life begins with an assumption. Before any action is taken or any change occurs, there is first a belief, an internal acceptance that sets the foundation. The assumption that you hold becomes the blueprint of your experience. If you assume success, it will manifest in your life. If you assume failure, that too will become your experience. Assumption is like a seed planted in the subconscious mind, and with enough focus, it grows into the outer reality that matches what was once believed internally. When you assume something to be true, regardless of what your current circumstances show, you begin to alter the way you interact with the world. Your mind starts to perceive opportunities, situations, and people that align with this new belief. For example, if you assume that you are financially abundant, your behavior begins to reflect that belief. You might notice financial opportunities where there were none before, or you might take bold actions with the quiet confidence of someone who already knows their prosperity is secured. This shift in behavior isn't just random, it's directly tied to the assumption you've made about yourself and your life. The power of assumption also operates on a deeper, invisible level. Once you assume something to be true, your subconscious mind starts working to bring that assumption to fruition. The subconscious does not question or doubt what it is fed, it simply acts in accordance with the beliefs that are impressed upon it. When you repeatedly assume a specific outcome, your subconscious begins to shift circumstances and events in your life to make that assumption a reality. It's as if the entire universe conspires to align itself with the belief you hold. But the key to making the power of assumption work for you lies in consistency. One cannot assume something to be true for a moment and then quickly revert to old patterns of doubt and disbelief. Assumption requires unwavering focus. Once you decide to assume a new reality, you must stick to it, regardless of any contradictory evidence. This is where many people struggle. They allow their current conditions to dictate their beliefs, when in fact their beliefs should be what dictate their conditions. It's important to recognize that assumptions are not just passive thoughts, they are the driving force behind your actions, decisions, and even your emotions. When you assume a desired outcome, you are not simply thinking about it, you are living as though it is already true. This affects everything, from the way you carry yourself to the way you respond to challenges. You begin to embody the version of yourself that has already achieved the outcome you seek. This alignment between your internal state and your external actions creates a powerful magnetism that draws your desires into your life. Another critical aspect of assumption is that it doesn't require any visible evidence to be valid. This is where the real strength of assumption lies. You don't need to wait for proof before you start believing something is possible. Instead, by assuming the reality of your desire right now, you create the conditions for it to manifest. The moment you truly embrace an assumption, the outer world will gradually reflect it. Whether it takes days, weeks, or months, the assumption that is firmly held will inevitably show up in your life. Many people get stuck because they feel the need to see results before they believe in something. But the power of assumption works in the opposite direction. You must believe first, even when there is no evidence to support that belief. It is your persistent assumption, held firmly in mind, that brings the evidence into being. This process requires faith, but it's a faith that is grounded in the understanding of how the mind shapes reality. You are not hoping for a random outcome. You are using a principle that works every time, as long as you remain steadfast in your assumption. One of the most liberating aspects of assumption is that it allows you to bypass limitations. It doesn't matter what your current circumstances are, assumption has the power to override them. You may be facing obstacles, setbacks, or difficulties, but if you assume that your desired outcome is already yours, those obstacles begin to lose their power. The external world, no matter how solid it appears, is malleable in the face of a firm assumption. This is why those who master the art of assumption can seem almost unaffected by challenges. They know that their assumption, if held steadily, will prevail over any temporary circumstance. This assumption is the key to unlocking the reality you want. When you decide to assume the truth of your desire, you initiate a chain reaction that brings that desire into your lived experience. You do not need to force or struggle. Your assumption does the work for you. All that is required is that you remain loyal to your desired state, consistently embodying the belief that it is already true. Once this becomes second nature, the power of assumption will transform your life in ways you never thought possible. Mental discipline is the cornerstone of successful manifestation, and it plays an indispensable role in aligning your mind with your desired outcome. To manifest anything you want, your mind must be fully committed to focusing on the reality you intend to create. This focus cannot be half-hearted or distracted. It must be sharp, unwavering, and deeply consistent. Mental discipline is what keeps your thoughts aligned with your goals, despite any external challenges, doubts, or temporary setbacks. When we talk about mental discipline, we're referring to the ability to control your thoughts and direct them towards a single, specific outcome. In the process of manifestation, every thought you entertain has a vibrational impact. Therefore, any time you allow your mind to wander into doubt, fear, or negativity, you weaken your ability to bring your desires into reality. Your mind needs to be disciplined enough to reject any thoughts that contradict your desired state, and this requires daily practice and focus. Mental discipline begins with awareness. Many people go through life unaware of the constant stream of thoughts that pass through their minds. Without awareness, it's easy for negative thoughts, doubts, and limiting beliefs to dominate your mental landscape. However, once you become aware of your thoughts, you can begin to take control of them. The first step in building mental discipline is catching yourself when you drift into negative or self-sabotaging thinking. This requires constant vigilance, as the mind can be prone to wander into familiar patterns of doubt, especially when faced with challenging circumstances. The key to mastering mental discipline is not to fight or suppress negative thoughts, but to redirect them. When you notice a thought that doesn't serve your desired outcome, simply acknowledge it and consciously choose a thought that aligns with your goal. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "This might not work," immediately replace it with, "This is already working in my favor." This redirection may feel difficult at first, but with practice, it becomes easier to maintain control over your mental state. Over time, you will notice that your mind starts to naturally gravitate towards thoughts that support your desires, rather than those that hinder them. One of the most important aspects of mental discipline is persistence. You cannot expect to hold a disciplined mindset for a few minutes or hours and expect lasting results. It must be a continuous process. You must hold your mental focus even in the face of contrary evidence. This is where many people fall short. They allow their current circumstances to dictate their thoughts, rather than allowing their disciplined mind to shape their reality. True mental discipline means keeping your focus on what you want, regardless of what appears to be happening around you. It requires faith in the process and the understanding that your external reality is merely a reflection of your inner state. By staying mentally disciplined, you ensure that your inner state is constantly aligned with the outcome you desire. Mental discipline also involves the ability to stay focused on one desire at a time. Often, people scatter their energy by trying to manifest multiple things simultaneously. While it is possible to manifest more than one thing at a time, it is far more effective to concentrate your mental energy on a single goal. When your focus is diluted, the power of your thoughts is weakened. But when you concentrate all your mental energy on one specific desire, you amplify the force of your intention, making it much more likely to manifest. This concentrated mental focus requires discipline, especially in a world full of distractions and competing desires. Mental discipline involves the ability to maintain your focus during times of uncertainty. There will be moments when the physical world doesn't immediately reflect the changes you're seeking. It's easy to lose faith during these periods, but mental discipline is about maintaining your belief and focus even when there are no visible signs of progress. This ability to stay centered and focused on your desired outcome, despite any evidence to the contrary, is what separates those who succeed in manifestation from those who don't. Mental discipline is about consistency, holding on to your vision no matter what. Another aspect of mental discipline is controlling your emotional state. Thoughts and emotions are closely linked, and the disciplined mind knows how to steer emotions in the right direction. It's easy to become emotionally reactive when things don't go as planned. However, a disciplined mind remains calm and focused, understanding that emotional reactions based on current circumstances will only perpetuate those circumstances. By maintaining a positive and focused emotional state, you strengthen your mental discipline and enhance your ability to manifest. Emotions, when aligned with disciplined thoughts, become powerful drivers of manifestation. Mental discipline requires patience. The disciplined mind understands that manifestation doesn't always happen instantly. Sometimes there is a period of gestation, a time during which the seeds of your desire are taking root in the unseen world. During this time, it is crucial to remain patient and stay mentally aligned with your goal. Impatience can lead to frustration, and frustration can pull your focus away from the desired outcome. The disciplined mind remains calm, patient, and persistent, knowing that what is being focused on is inevitably coming into being. Mental discipline is the practice of taking control of your thoughts, consistently directing them towards your desired outcome, and refusing to allow distractions, doubts, or external circumstances to derail your focus. It is about maintaining alignment with your goals through persistent, positive mental focus. This discipline creates a powerful energy that brings your desires into reality. By mastering mental discipline, you create a mental environment where your goals can flourish, and you ensure that your mind remains a powerful tool in the manifestation process. Living in the end is one of the most profound principles for manifestation. It means embodying the feeling and mindset of already having what you desire. Instead of merely hoping or wishing for something to happen, you mentally place yourself in the state of your wish fulfilled. This principle asks you to go beyond the limits of the present moment and live as though your desired reality is already true. It is not just a mental exercise, but a complete shift in your being, where you act, think, and feel from the place of already achieving your goal. Living in the end is about embodying the certainty that what you desire is not something distant or unattainable, but something that is already yours. When you adopt this state of mind, you stop reacting to your current circumstances. Instead of letting external conditions dictate your feelings or beliefs, you take control of your inner state. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to achieve something, and you begin to identify as the person who already possesses it. In this way, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality of your desire. This creates a powerful resonance between your inner world and the outer world, ensuring that what you internally claim will eventually manifest. One of the critical aspects of living in the end is the ability to move beyond doubt. When you live in the end, there is no room for questioning whether your desire will come to pass. In fact, from this mental position, it already has come to pass. You stop thinking about how it will happen or what needs to be done to make it happen. Instead, you rest in the certainty that it has already been done. This does not mean that you stop taking action altogether, but the action you take comes from a place of fulfillment rather than striving. You are no longer driven by anxiety or urgency, but by confidence and peace, because internally you know the outcome is inevitable. The practice of living in the end is deeply transformative because it allows you to let go of resistance. Often when people focus on what they want, they simultaneously hold on to the feeling of not having it. This creates internal tension and conflict because on one hand they desire something, but on the other hand they constantly remind themselves that it is not yet present in their lives. Living in the end eliminates this inner struggle. By fully adopting the feeling of having already achieved your desire, you release the resistance associated with waiting, hoping, or fearing that it won't happen. In this state, you stop pushing against your current reality and instead allow the flow of events to unfold naturally toward the realization of your goal. Living in the end also involves the reprogramming of your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts whatever you consistently impress upon it as the truth. When you live in the end, you are continually feeding your subconscious with the belief that your desire has already manifested. Over time, this belief becomes deeply embedded in your subconscious, influencing your thoughts, emotions, and actions on a deeper level. As a result, your external reality begins to reflect this inner conviction. The world around you shifts to mirror the state of mind you've adopted. Furthermore, living in the end is not about faking or pretending. It is not about trying to deceive yourself into believing something that isn't true. Instead, it is about shifting your consciousness to a new level of awareness where you recognize that time and space are flexible. In the realm of the mind, everything exists simultaneously. The past, present, and future are all interconnected, and when you live in the end, you are simply choosing to occupy a specific point in that spectrum. You are choosing to experience a future event as though it were happening now, thereby collapsing the distance between where you are and where you want to be. One of the challenges people often face when trying to live in the end is that their current reality appears so different from the desired outcome. This can make it difficult to maintain the feeling of fulfillment. However, this is where persistence comes in. Living in the end requires a firm commitment to staying in the mental and emotional state of your wish fulfilled, even when external evidence suggests otherwise. It is a practice of holding on to your inner reality with unwavering faith, knowing that the outer world will eventually conform to it. You must be able to look past your present conditions and focus entirely on the reality you've chosen to embody. Living in the end also transforms your relationship with time. Instead of feeling impatient or anxious about when your desire will manifest, you become more at peace with the process. Time loses its power over you because in your mind you've already achieved what you want. There is no more waiting or wondering when it will happen because, for you, it already has. This shift in perception creates a sense of calm and assurance that accelerates the manifestation process, when you are no longer tied to the idea of when, but instead focus on the feeling of already. Time itself seems to bend in your favor, bringing your desires to you more swiftly. Living in the end allows you to navigate life with a sense of inner security. You no longer feel the need to constantly check your progress or look for signs that things are moving in the right direction. You are no longer at the mercy of doubt, uncertainty, or external validation. Instead, you move through life with quiet confidence, knowing that your inner state will inevitably be mirrored by the outer world. This inner certainty not only brings peace, but also enhances your ability to take inspired action. You are no longer acting from a place of lack or desperation, but from a place of fulfillment and abundance. Living in the end is about assuming the identity of the person who already has what you desire. It is about stepping into that version of yourself and fully embracing the thoughts, feelings, and actions that come with it. When you live in the end, you transcend the limitations of your current circumstances and operate from a higher state of consciousness where all things are possible. This mental and emotional shift creates the conditions for your desired reality to unfold naturally and effortlessly in your life. Through this practice, you tap into the infinite power of your mind and transform your desires from mere possibilities into tangible experiences. Imagination is the foundation of all creation. To fully understand the power of imagination, one must first accept that imagination is not merely a tool for creative thinking or daydreaming, it is the very fabric of reality itself. Everything that exists in the physical world was first conceived in the mind. Whether it's the technology we use, the buildings we inhabit, or the relationships we experience, they all began as ideas, visions, or dreams in someone's imagination. The same principle applies to your personal life. Your imagination holds the key to shaping your reality, and when you harness this power deliberately, you can manifest any experience you desire. Imagination allows you to transcend the limits of the physical world. In your mind, there are no restrictions, no boundaries, no obstacles. You can visualize yourself achieving anything, regardless of your current circumstances. In this realm, you are free to explore new possibilities, try on different realities, and ultimately create the life you want to live. The mistake many people make is thinking that their imagination is somehow separate from reality, that what they imagine is unreal. In truth, the only difference between imagination and reality is time and focus. What you consistently imagine will eventually solidify into your physical experience. The role of imagination in manifestation cannot be overstated. When you use your imagination to visualize your desired outcome, you are not simply engaging in wishful thinking. You are actively creating the blueprint for your future reality. The mind does not distinguish between real and imagined experiences. To your subconscious, what you vividly imagine is just as real as what you physically experience. This is why your imagination is such a powerful tool. It influences your subconscious mind, which in turn shapes your thoughts, emotions, and actions. These internal changes set in motion the external events that will bring your desires into reality. Imagination as reality also means understanding that the present moment is fluid and malleable. The circumstances you find yourself in right now are not fixed or permanent. They are the result of past thoughts, beliefs, and imaginal acts. If you can shift your imagination to a different outcome, you can create a new reality. The key to making this shift is to focus on your imagination as if it were the actual experience. The more vividly and consistently you imagine your desired outcome, the more real it becomes to you. Over time, this imagined reality will begin to take precedence over your current circumstances. One of the most powerful aspects of using imagination as reality is that it allows you to bypass any limitations imposed by the physical world. In your imagination, there are no limits to what you can achieve. You can see yourself in any situation, embodying any role, experiencing any outcome. By immersing yourself in these imaginal scenes, you activate the creative forces of the universe. What you consistently imagine, you impress upon your subconscious mind, which then works tirelessly to bring those images to life. Your subconscious does not question whether something is possible or impossible. It simply acts on the images and feelings you present to it. When you begin to use your imagination in this way, you must be mindful of the thoughts and images you entertain. Many people unknowingly use their imagination to create the very circumstances they wish to avoid. They constantly replay scenarios of failure, rejection, or lack in their minds, and as a result, these experiences continue to show up in their lives. To manifest what you desire, you must discipline your imagination to focus only on what you want to create. Every time you catch yourself imagining something undesirable, you have the power to stop and replace it with a new vision, one that aligns with your goals and aspirations. Imagination is also deeply connected to emotion. When you imagine something vividly, it stirs emotions within you, whether it's excitement, joy, fear, or anxiety. These emotions are not just responses to your thoughts, they are the fuel that brings your imaginal acts to life. The more emotionally charged your imagination is, the faster it will manifest in your reality. This is why it is so important to imagine your desires with feelings of joy, fulfillment, and gratitude. By doing so, you are aligning your emotional state with the outcome you wish to create, which accelerates the manifestation process. Imagination allows you to rehearse success. Athletes, performers, and high achievers have long understood the power of mental rehearsal, that they imagine themselves performing at their best, visualizing every detail of their success before it happens. This mental practice not only builds confidence, but also programs the subconscious mind to expect success. You can apply this same technique to any area of your life. Whether it's achieving a personal goal, building a relationship, or advancing in your career, using your imagination to mentally rehearse success will prepare your mind and body to naturally move toward that outcome. Imagination also plays a vital role in overcoming obstacles. In life, challenges and setbacks are inevitable. However, by using your imagination, you can rise above these obstacles before they even occur. When you encounter a difficult situation, you can use your mind to envision a solution or a favorable outcome. By focusing on the solution in your imagination rather than the problem, you shift your energy toward a positive resolution. This mental shift often leads to inspired ideas, insights, or actions that help you navigate the challenge successfully. Imagination allows you to shift your identity. If you see yourself as someone limited by circumstances, your imagination can be a tool to redefine who you are. You can imagine yourself as the version of you who has already succeeded, who is already living the life you want. By consistently embodying this new identity in your mind, you begin to act, think, and feel in alignment with that version of yourself. This internal transformation naturally leads to changes in your external reality. Your actions become more aligned with your goals, and opportunities that support your vision begin to show up in your life. Imagination is not just a creative outlet, it is the key to shaping your reality. When used consciously, imagination has the power to transform any aspect of your life. By visualizing your desired outcomes with clarity, emotion, and consistency, you activate the creative forces within you and around you. Your inner world begins to reflect the new reality you've imagined, and soon your outer world follows suit. This is the true power of imagination. It is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the intangible and the tangible, the dream and the reality. By mastering your imagination, you master your reality. Emotional alignment is at the heart of manifesting your desires. It is the process of aligning your inner emotional state with the reality you want to experience. The emotions you consistently feel serve as a powerful indicator of the reality you are creating for yourself. When you are in emotional alignment, your desires and your feelings are in harmony, which allows for the smooth and rapid manifestation of your goals. This is because emotions act as a magnetic force, drawing to you experiences that resonate with the vibrational frequency of the emotions you are emitting. The most critical aspect of emotional alignment is understanding that emotions are not mere reactions to external circumstances, they are creative forces. What you feel on the inside is constantly shaping your external reality. If you want to manifest something, you must first feel as if you already have it. The emotions you associate with the desired outcome must be felt and embodied even before that outcome appears in your physical reality. This is often where many people struggle. They allow their emotions to be dictated by their current circumstances, rather than using their emotions to create new circumstances. Emotional alignment requires a conscious decision to feel in alignment with your desires, regardless of what is happening around you. One of the key principles in emotional alignment is the understanding that your emotions are a direct reflection of your beliefs. If you believe something is possible, you will naturally feel excited, hopeful, or joyful when you think about it. If you believe something is impossible or difficult, your emotions will reflect fear, doubt, or frustration. Therefore, emotional alignment is not just about forcing yourself to feel good. It's about cultivating beliefs that support the emotions you want to experience. When you align your beliefs with the reality you desire, your emotions automatically follow suit, and you begin to feel the joy, confidence, and certainty of already having your manifestation. To achieve emotional alignment, it is essential to focus on the emotions that are in harmony with your desired outcome. This means deliberately cultivating feelings of joy, gratitude, excitement, and love. These high-frequency emotions act as signals to the universe, letting it know what you want to create. The universe responds not to what you say or think, but to what you feel. If you constantly feel lack, fear, or doubt, you are sending out a signal that will bring more of those experiences into your life. On the other hand, if you consistently feel abundant, confident, and fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the experiences that match those emotions. Emotional alignment also involves learning to shift your emotional state in the moment. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's natural to experience a range of emotions. However, the key is not to stay stuck in negative emotions for too long. When you find yourself feeling fear, frustration, or doubt, it's important to recognize that these emotions are out of alignment with your desires. By becoming aware of your emotional state, you can consciously choose to shift your focus toward more positive emotions. This might involve visualizing your desired outcome, practicing gratitude, or simply taking a deep breath and choosing to let go of resistance. The quicker you can shift back into emotional alignment, the faster you can manifest what you want. Another crucial aspect of emotional alignment is maintaining consistency. It's not enough to feel good about your desires once in a while. You must make it a daily practice to align your emotions with the reality you want to create. This doesn't mean you need to be in a state of constant joy or excitement, but it does mean that your predominant emotional state should reflect the outcome you desire. The more consistently you can maintain emotional alignment, the more momentum you build, and the faster your manifestations will unfold. It's a process of training your mind and emotions to remain focused on what you want, rather than being swayed by temporary setbacks or distractions. Emotional alignment also means letting go of the need to control every aspect of the manifestation process. When you are emotionally aligned, you trust that the universe is working on your behalf, and you don't feel the need to force things to happen. You feel secure in the knowledge that your desires are already on their way. And this sense of trust allows you to relax and enjoy the journey. This relaxed state of emotional alignment is incredibly powerful because it removes resistance and opens you up to receiving what you've asked for. When you are in a state of trust and ease, the universe can deliver your desires more effortlessly. A key factor in maintaining emotional alignment is self-awareness. You must be mindful of the emotions you are feeling on a moment-to-moment basis. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring negative emotions, but rather acknowledging them and then making a conscious decision to shift toward more positive emotions. Emotional alignment is not about pretending to feel good when you don't. It's about being honest with yourself and taking responsibility for your emotional state. When you take ownership of your emotions, you reclaim your power to create your reality. You are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances because you understand that your emotions are the true creators of your experience. Emotional alignment is also deeply connected to self-love and self-worth. If you don't believe you are worthy of receiving your desires, it will be difficult to align your emotions with those desires. Therefore, part of emotional alignment involves cultivating a deep sense of love and appreciation for yourself. When you love and value yourself, you naturally feel deserving of the good things you desire. This feeling of worthiness aligns your emotions with abundance, success, and fulfillment. When you truly believe that you deserve the best, your emotions will reflect that belief, and your reality will begin to mirror it as well. Emotional alignment is the process of tuning your inner emotional state to match the frequency of your desired reality. It requires awareness, practice, and consistency, but once mastered, it becomes the most powerful tool for manifesting your desires. When your emotions are aligned with what you want, the universe has no choice but to bring it to you. By feeling as though your desires are already yours, you create an energetic match that draws those desires into your life with ease and grace. Emotional alignment is the key to unlocking the full potential of your manifesting power, allowing you to create a life filled with joy, abundance, and fulfillment. Faith is the invisible force that underpins every manifestation. It is not just a religious or spiritual concept, it is a deeply personal conviction that what you desire is not only possible but inevitable. Faith is the foundation upon which you build the bridge from your current reality to your desired outcome. Without faith, you cannot fully commit to the process of manifestation because doubt, fear, and uncertainty will continuously block your progress. Faith is the assurance that even though you may not yet see your desired result in the physical world, it exists in the realm of possibilities, waiting for you to claim it. At its core, faith is the belief in the unseen. It is the trust that the forces of the universe, your inner creative power, and your focused intention will bring your desires to life. This belief must be unwavering, no matter what your external circumstances may suggest. Often, the physical world will present challenges, delays, or conditions that seem contrary to your desires, and it is in these moments that faith becomes crucial. Faith allows you to remain focused on your vision, even when everything around you appears to be going in the opposite direction. It is the inner knowing that reality can change in an instant if you hold steadfast to your belief. Faith is not just about waiting passively for things to happen. It is an active, dynamic state of being. It requires you to move forward with confidence, to take inspired action, and to live as though your desire has already manifested. When you have faith, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired outcome, even before it materializes. This creates a powerful momentum that accelerates the manifestation process. Faith is what allows you to bridge the gap between your inner vision and the external world, ensuring that what you imagine eventually becomes real. Faith is intimately connected with imagination. In order to manifest, you must first imagine your desired outcome vividly, but imagination alone is not enough. You must have faith that your imagination has the power to create reality. When you combine imagination with faith, you move from wishful thinking to a deep conviction that what you see in your mind is already yours. Faith transforms imagination into a powerful creative force, turning abstract thoughts into tangible experiences. Without faith, imagination remains a fleeting daydream. But with faith, it becomes the blueprint for your reality. One of the most significant aspects of faith is its ability to dissolve fear and doubt. Fear and doubt are natural human emotions, but they are also the greatest obstacles to manifestation. When you doubt the possibility of achieving your desires, you introduce resistance into the process, which can slow or even block the manifestation. Faith acts as a counterbalance to doubt, allowing you to push through fear and uncertainty with a sense of calm assurance. It quiets the mind's tendency to overanalyze or question, replacing hesitation with a deep inner trust that everything is working in your favor, even if you can't see how in the moment. Faith also plays a critical role in maintaining emotional alignment. To manifest successfully, your emotions must be in harmony with your desires. Faith helps you stay emotionally aligned because it fosters feelings of confidence, peace, and certainty. When you have faith, you don't feel anxious or impatient about whether your desires will come to pass. Instead, you feel calm, knowing that the outcome is already determined. This emotional state of ease and trust is a powerful attractor for the experiences and opportunities you seek. Faith allows you to remain in a state of emotional equilibrium, unshaken by temporary setbacks or delays. Another key element of faith is persistence. Manifestation is not always an instantaneous process. Sometimes it takes time for your desires to materialize, especially if you are dealing with deeply ingrained beliefs or complex circumstances. During these times, it is easy to become discouraged and lose sight of your goal. However, faith gives you the strength to persist, even when the path ahead seems unclear. It allows you to stay the course, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you can't yet see the evidence. Faith empowers you to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep acting in alignment with your desires, no matter how long it takes. Faith is also about letting go of control. Many people struggle with manifestation because they want to control every aspect of the process. They want to dictate when, how, and through whom their desires will come to them. However, this need for control creates resistance because it implies a lack of trust in the universe's ability to deliver. Faith, on the other hand, allows you to surrender the how and the when to a higher intelligence. It gives you the freedom to focus solely on your vision and the emotions associated with it, knowing that the universe will take care of the details in ways that are often beyond your imagination. An important aspect of faith is its ability to inspire action. Faith is not a passive state of waiting for things to happen. It is an active participation in the creative process. When you have faith, you are more likely to take bold, inspired actions toward your goals because you believe in the outcome. These actions might not always make logical sense or follow a linear path, but faith encourages you to trust your intuition and act on your inner guidance. This willingness to take action, even when the outcome is uncertain, is a key component of successful manifestation. Faith also connects you to the larger forces at play in the universe. It is a recognition that you are not alone in your creative endeavors, that there are unseen forces working alongside you to bring your desires to life. When you have faith, you align yourself with these forces, allowing them to guide and support you. This connection brings a sense of peace and ease, as you realize that you are part of a much larger process of creation. Faith reminds you that you are not responsible for making everything happen on your own. You are co-creating with the universe, and that partnership is what brings your desires into reality. Faith is the foundation of all manifestation. It is the inner conviction that what you desire is not only possible but already on its way to you. Faith allows you to transcend fear, doubt, and limitation, empowering you to create the life you truly want. By holding steadfast to your belief in the unseen, you create a pathway for your desires to move from the realm of imagination into physical reality. Faith is the key to unlocking the full potential of your manifesting power, guiding you through the process with confidence, ease, and certainty. The 3-day rule is an intriguing and powerful concept in the realm of manifestation. It asserts that within a period of 3 days, you can bring forth significant changes in your reality if you apply certain principles with absolute conviction and focus. This technique operates on the belief that manifestation doesn't have to take years, months, or even weeks to materialize. Instead, it emphasizes that the time frame for receiving what you desire can be dramatically shortened to as little as 3 days if you fully commit to the mental and emotional practices necessary for creating your reality. Central to the 3-day rule is the idea that time is an illusion, and that reality is more malleable than it appears. Our understanding of time often limits us, creating the belief that change must follow a slow, linear process. This perception is deeply ingrained in our minds through societal norms, education, and experience. However, the 3-day rule challenges this notion by encouraging a shift in consciousness, inviting you to accept that the timeline for manifestation is not fixed, and that rapid transformation is not only possible, but also natural when you fully align with your desires. For the 3-day rule to work, it requires an intense level of focus, emotional investment, and unwavering belief. In essence, you must become absolutely clear about what you want and hold on to that vision with a firm mental grip. The mind tends to wander and entertain doubts, but during the 3 days you must cultivate a level of mental discipline that does not waver. This means resisting any negative thoughts, doubts, or fears that may arise, and instead fully saturating your mind with the assumption that what you desire is already yours. The power of this mental focus lies in its ability to reshape your subconscious beliefs, which in turn reshape your external reality. A key component of the 3-day rule is emotional intensity. It is not enough to simply think about your desire or visualize it passively. You must feel it with every fiber of your being. Your emotions act as the fuel for manifestation, propelling your desires from the realm of thought into the physical world. The more intensely you can feel the reality of your desire, whether it is joy, relief, excitement, or gratitude, the faster it can materialize. During these 3 days, you are called to live in a state of emotional alignment with your desired outcome, as though it has already happened. This alignment creates a vibrational match between your inner state and the external world, allowing the two to sync up and bring forth the manifestation. Another crucial aspect of the 3-day rule is faith in the unseen. While you may not witness immediate external changes on the first or second day, you must hold on to the belief that something is happening beneath the surface. This faith is vital because it prevents you from slipping back into doubt or impatience. Often the physical world operates with a slight delay, and it may take time for the manifestation to fully unfold. But during the 3 days, you are asked to trust the process completely, knowing that the external world will rearrange itself according to your inner conviction. The 3-day rule also operates on the principle of energetic momentum. As you maintain focused thought, strong emotion, and unwavering belief over a concentrated period, you create a powerful surge of energy directed toward your desired outcome. This energy builds momentum, making it increasingly difficult for anything to stand in the way of your manifestation. The universe responds to this concentrated energy by aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in your favor. The more consistently you can hold this state of mind over the 3 days, the stronger the energetic push toward manifestation becomes. The 3-day rule challenges you to commit fully to your vision. It requires you to adopt a mindset of certainty and to embody the version of yourself who already has what you want. This level of commitment is what separates fleeting desires from those that manifest quickly. Many people spend their time oscillating between what they want and what they fear, which leads to mixed signals being sent to the universe. The 3-day rule forces you to cut through this indecision and make a firm choice about what you wish to experience. By doing so, you send a clear, undiluted message to the universe, which in turn responds with precision. During this 3-day period, it is essential to avoid seeking external validation or signs that your manifestation is working. This need for reassurance often stems from doubt, which can weaken your manifestation efforts. Instead, the 3-day rule encourages you to rely solely on your inner conviction. By focusing inward and cultivating the feeling of already having what you desire, you strengthen your manifesting power. Any external signs that appear should be regarded as secondary and not necessary for your belief. The real work happens within, and it is your inner world that drives the changes in your external reality. The 3-day rule also invites you to release the need for control. Often people try to micromanage how their desires will come to them, which creates unnecessary resistance. The 3-day rule emphasizes the importance of surrendering the how and when to a higher intelligence. By trusting that the universe knows the best way to deliver your desires, you remove the blocks that often arise from overthinking and overanalyzing. This surrender allows the manifestation to flow naturally, without the interference of doubt or anxiety. In addition to mental focus and emotional alignment, the 3-day rule calls for practical steps. These actions should not be forced or driven by fear, but should come from a place of inspired intuition. As you move through the 3 days, pay attention to any inner nudges or ideas that arise. These are often signals from the universe guiding you toward your manifestation. Acting on these intuitive impulses with confidence can accelerate the manifestation process. However, even if no action seems necessary, trust that the mental and emotional work you are doing is enough to bring about the desired result. The 3-day rule is about compressing the manifestation process into a short, intense period of focus, belief, and emotional alignment. It operates on the understanding that reality is fluid and can shift quickly when you direct your inner power with clarity and conviction. By fully committing to the process and maintaining unwavering faith during the 3 days, you open the door to rapid transformation. Whether the manifestation comes in the form of a major life change or a subtle shift, the 3-day rule serves as a powerful reminder of the creative potential you hold within yourself. Inner conversations are a fundamental aspect of manifestation, influencing the direction and quality of your external reality. They are the continuous dialogues you have with yourself, those thoughts, reflections, and mental discussions that shape your perceptions, beliefs, and experiences. Although these internal dialogues may often seem insignificant, they hold immense creative power, for they form the blueprint of your world. Every thought you entertain and every word you silently speak to yourself has a profound effect on how your reality unfolds. The key to understanding inner conversations lies in recognizing that your mind is constantly active, even when you are not consciously aware of it. This ongoing stream of thoughts shapes your emotional states, attitudes, and responses to the world around you. These conversations are so habitual that they often go unnoticed, yet they exert a powerful influence over your subconscious mind. The subconscious is highly impressionable and absorbs whatever it is fed by your conscious thoughts. Therefore, the content of your inner conversations acts as instructions to the subconscious, which in turn manifests those ideas into tangible reality. To harness the power of inner conversations for manifestation, you must first become aware of them. Most people spend their days engaged in automatic, often negative, inner dialogues. They rehearse worries, doubts, and frustrations, unconsciously affirming lack, limitation, and fear. This unchecked mental activity keeps them trapped in a cycle of undesirable circumstances because their inner conversations are aligned with what they do not want rather than what they desire. To change your external reality, you must first change these conversations by consciously directing them toward your desired outcomes. When you begin to consciously engage in positive, empowering inner conversations, you shift the focus of your mind. Instead of dwelling on problems, limitations, or obstacles, you start affirming your desires as already fulfilled. This shift in focus changes your vibration and aligns you with the experiences you wish to manifest. Your subconscious mind, which is always listening and absorbing, begins to accept these new conversations as truth. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined it simply acts on the information it is given. By feeding it positive, constructive conversations, you guide it to create experiences that mirror those affirmations. For example, if your inner conversations are filled with thoughts like, "I can't do this," or "this is too difficult," your subconscious will take those statements as commands and manifest situations that reinforce that belief. On the other hand, if you consistently tell yourself, "I am capable," or "success is inevitable for me," your subconscious will work to create circumstances that reflect those beliefs. The beauty of inner conversations is that they can be used at any moment to reshape your mental and emotional state. Even in the face of apparent challenges, you can redirect your internal dialogue toward what you wish to experience, thereby aligning yourself with a more positive outcome. The key to successful manifestation through inner conversations is consistency. It is not enough to occasionally engage in positive self-talk. You must make it a habit to consciously guide your inner conversations throughout the day. This requires vigilance and mental discipline, as the mind naturally gravitates toward old patterns of thought. Whenever you catch yourself entertaining negative or limiting inner dialogue, pause and redirect your thoughts toward something that affirms your desires. Over time, this practice will become more natural, and your dominant inner conversations will reflect the reality you wish to create. In addition to guiding your thoughts, your inner conversation should evoke the feelings associated with your desires. That emotions play a critical role in manifestation, because they amplify the power of your thoughts. When you engage in positive inner conversations, do so with the feeling of already having what you desire. For instance, if you are affirming success, imagine how it feels to be successful. Allow yourself to feel the joy, satisfaction, and confidence that come with achieving your goals. These emotions enhance the creative power of your thoughts and send a strong signal to the subconscious that your desires are real. Your inner conversations should be aligned with the concept of living in the end. This means that you speak to yourself as though your desire has already manifested. Instead of thinking, "I hope this happens," or "maybe one day I'll have this," shift your conversation to, "It's already done," or "I have this now." By mentally living in the end result, you align your thoughts and feelings with the fulfillment of your desire, which accelerates the manifestation process. This practice not only builds your belief in the possibility of your desire, but also removes any mental resistance that may arise from doubt or uncertainty. Another powerful aspect of inner conversations is their ability to reshape your self-concept. How you perceive yourself directly influences what you experience in life. If your inner conversations are filled with thoughts of inadequacy, unworthiness, or fear, your external world will reflect those beliefs. But by consciously engaging in conversations that affirm your worth, power, and capability, you begin to shift your self-concept. As you change the way you speak to yourself, you start to embody a new identity, one that is aligned with the experiences you wish to manifest. This shift in self-concept is crucial, because you can only manifest what you believe you are worthy of receiving. Inner conversations also have the power to change your relationship with others. Every interaction you have with another person is influenced by the thoughts and feelings you hold about them in your mind. If your inner conversations about someone are filled with resentment, anger, or frustration, your external relationship with that person will reflect those emotions. However, if you change your inner dialogue to one of understanding, love, or appreciation, your external relationship will begin to mirror those positive emotions. This is a powerful tool for improving relationships and creating harmony in your interactions with others. Inner conversations are a potent tool for manifestation because they operate at the level of thought, which is the root cause of all creation. By becoming aware of your inner dialogues and consciously directing them toward your desires, you can reshape your reality from the inside out. This practice requires consistency, emotional alignment, and a willingness to live in the end result. But as you master the art of inner conversations, you will find that your external world naturally aligns with the reality you have been affirming in your mind. Through the power of thought and self-directed dialogue, you hold the key to creating the life you truly desire. The release of effort is one of the most profound yet often misunderstood aspects of manifestation. It is based on the principle that the more you try to force an outcome or obsess over the how of achieving something, the more you actually push it away. This paradox occurs because effort often stems from a place of lack, doubt, or fear that what you desire might not come to fruition. When you operate from such a state of consciousness, you are reinforcing the belief that the thing you want is difficult, far away, or even unattainable, which in turn perpetuates its absence from your reality. At its core, releasing effort is about trusting the process. It means recognizing that creation begins in the mind and is completed through faith, not through excessive mental or physical strain. When you set an intention or desire, the universe or the deeper layers of your consciousness begins to rearrange circumstances to bring that desire into form. But if you are constantly trying to make it happen, you disrupt this natural flow. You are essentially signaling to your subconscious mind that you do not trust it to fulfill your desire, and this creates resistance. In this sense, effort, when not properly aligned with belief and certainty, becomes a barrier to manifestation. To understand the release of effort, one must first grasp the distinction between inspired action and forced action. Inspired action flows naturally from the assumption that your desire is already yours. It is effortless because it feels right, aligned, and guided by intuition. There is no need for overthinking or second-guessing. On the other hand, forced action is driven by a sense of urgency, desperation, or the fear of not achieving what you want. It feels heavy, laborious, and usually leads to frustration or burnout. When you are forcing things to happen, you are effectively telling yourself and the universe that what you desire is not already in motion, thus delaying its manifestation. Releasing effort requires a shift in mindset, a shift from trying to control every detail to allowing things to unfold in their own time and way. This is not to say that action is unnecessary, but rather that the right kind of action arises naturally when you are aligned with your desire. When you release effort, you let go of the need to micromanage the process. You stop worrying about how, when, or where your manifestation will appear, and instead focus on maintaining a state of inner certainty and calm. This state of mind is the key to accelerating the manifestation process because it aligns you with the natural flow of creation. One of the reasons people struggle with the release of effort is because they confuse action with control. They believe that if they are not constantly working toward their goal or obsessing over it, nothing will happen. This belief, however, is rooted in a misunderstanding of how manifestation works. The act of creation begins in the mind, and it is through your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions that your desires take shape. Once you have clearly defined your intention and have aligned yourself emotionally with the end result, the external actions needed to bring that desire into physical reality will naturally present themselves. There is no need to force things or to constantly stress about whether or not you are doing enough. The release of effort involves a deep sense of surrender. This is not the same as giving up, rather. It is about letting go of control over the outcome. It is an acknowledgement that the universe, or your subconscious mind, knows the best and most efficient way to bring your desire into being. When you release effort, you are saying, I trust that this is already mine, and I don't need to strain or struggle to make it happen. This trust is crucial, because it keeps you in a state of inner peace and alignment with your desire, which is far more powerful than any amount of external effort. Effort can also be seen as a sign of inner resistance. When you feel the need to work hard for something or to constantly check whether your manifestation is happening, it's often because you don't fully believe that it's possible or that you deserve it. Releasing effort, therefore, requires a shift in belief. It involves recognizing that your desires are already yours the moment you claim them mentally and emotionally. Once you have planted the seed of your desire in your mind, you must allow it the space and time to grow without digging it up prematurely through worry, doubt, or over-effort. This practice of releasing effort also ties into the concept of living in the end. When you truly live in the end, you act as though your desire is already fulfilled, and there is no need for excessive effort, because in your mind it's already done. The more you align with this feeling of completion, the less effort you will feel compelled to exert. Your actions will become effortless and inspired because they will stem from a place of knowing rather than hoping or fearing. This is the true power of releasing effort. It frees you from the need to constantly do and allows you to simply be in a state of alignment with your desire. Releasing effort cultivates a state of inner calm and confidence. When you are no longer obsessively trying to force things to happen, you free yourself from anxiety and frustration. You create mental space for creativity, intuition, and inspiration to flow, which leads to better, more aligned outcomes. The release of effort is about trusting in the invisible processes of manifestation, the subtle, unseen forces that are always at work to bring your desires into reality. It is about recognizing that efforting does not make things happen faster. In fact, it often slows the process because it signals doubt and lack of trust. Releasing effort is an act of faith. It is about trusting in the power of your own mind and the natural laws of creation. When you release the need to control or force outcomes, you allow the universe to work on your behalf. You align yourself with the flow of life and open the door for your desires to manifest with ease. This is the paradox of effort. The less you try to force things, the more effortlessly they come to you. By releasing effort, you tap into the true power of manifestation, the power of belief, trust, and alignment with your inner desires. The power of repetition is a crucial principle in the art of manifestation, serving as a foundational tool for transforming thoughts into reality. This concept is deeply rooted in the understanding that our subconscious mind operates largely on repetition and habitual patterns. By consciously repeating affirmations, visualizations, or even thoughts about our desires, we can reprogram our subconscious to align with our aspirations and beliefs. The effectiveness of repetition lies in its ability to reinforce neural pathways in the brain, making it easier for us to adopt new beliefs and behaviors that correspond to the reality we wish to create. When we engage in repetition, we are essentially sending a consistent message to our subconscious mind. This consistent input helps to delimiting beliefs that may have been delayed through past experiences, societal conditioning, or negative self-talk. By repeating affirmations or visualizations, we begin to override those old patterns with new, empowering ones. This process of mental reconditioning is not instantaneous. It requires consistent practice and commitment. However, the more we repeat positive thoughts and imagery, the more they become ingrained in our subconscious. Over time, these repeated messages morph into a belief system that supports our desires. The practice of repetition also harnesses the principle of emotional resonance. When we repeat a statement or visualization with strong emotion, we create a deeper impact on our subconscious. Emotions are the driving force behind our manifestations. They provide the energy that propels our thoughts into the realm of possibility. For example, if you repeatedly visualize yourself achieving a particular goal, infusing that visualization with the emotions of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment, you are creating a powerful energetic signal that resonates with your desired outcome. This emotional alignment not only makes the imagery more vivid and compelling, but also solidifies belief that such a reality is not just possible but inevitable. The act of repetition helps to cultivate mental discipline, which is essential for effective manifestation. In a world filled with distractions and negativity, maintaining a consistent focus on our desires can be challenging. Repetition serves as a tool to anchor our thoughts and intentions amidst external chaos. By regularly reciting affirmations or engaging in visualization practices, we train our minds to prioritize our goals and desires over doubts and distractions. This mental discipline not only enhances our ability to manifest, but also fortifies our resilience against setbacks and challenges that may arise along the way. One of the most transformative aspects of repetition is its ability to create a sense of certainty and expectation. When we consistently affirm our desires or visualize our goals, we cultivate a deep-seated belief that they are achievable. This belief, in turn, generates a sense of confidence that influences our actions and decisions. When we operate from a place of certainty, we are more likely to take inspired action, make bold choices, and embrace opportunities that align with our desires. In contrast, inconsistency in our thoughts can lead to doubt, confusion, and ultimately inaction. The power of repetition helps us to break this cycle of doubt and establish a clear, confident mindset. Repetition can be a profound practice in self-discovery and personal growth. As we engage in repeated affirmations or visualizations, we may encounter underlying fears, doubts, or limiting beliefs that have been buried within us. This process of repetition not only highlights areas that need healing or transformation, but also empowers us to address and release them. By acknowledging these limiting beliefs, we can consciously choose to replace them with more empowering narratives. This iterative process of self-reflection, acknowledgement, and replacement is essential for personal evolution and manifestation. Repetition is not limited to verbal affirmations or visualizations. It can manifest in various forms, such as journaling, meditation, or even surrounding ourselves with affirming environments and people. Each of these practices contributes to reinforcing the messages we wish to embed in our subconscious. For example, keeping a gratitude journal where you repeatedly express appreciation for what you have and what you desire cultivates a mindset of abundance and attracts more positive experiences into your life. Similarly, engaging in daily meditation can help to center your thoughts and reinforce your commitment to your desires. The impact of repetition extends beyond the individual. It can also influence our interactions with the world around us. When we consistently embody our desired state of being, we begin to attract situations, opportunities, and people that resonate with our new belief system. Our energy shifts, and we become a magnet for experiences that align with our intentions. The world responds to our inner state, and through the power of repetition, we can effectively change our external reality by first transforming our internal landscape. The power of repetition is a reminder that manifestation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. It requires commitment, consistency, and a willingness to embrace the journey of self-discovery and growth. By integrating the practice of repetition into our daily lives, we harness its transformative potential, allowing us to shift our beliefs, cultivate emotional alignment, and create the reality we desire. Each affirmation, visualization, or positive thought serves as a building block in the construction of our ideal life. The more we engage in these practices, the stronger our foundation becomes, enabling us to stand firm in our belief that we can manifest our desires with grace and ease. Through the power of repetition, we unleash the latent potential within us, transforming our dreams into tangible realities. In conclusion, the journey of manifestation is one of profound self-discovery and empowerment, deeply rooted in the understanding of the mind's power. Throughout this exploration, we've uncovered the essential principles that pave the way for manifesting our desires, with repetition standing out as a vital tool. By consistently affirming our goals, visualizing our dreams, and cultivating emotional alignment, we shift our subconscious beliefs and create the conditions necessary for our aspirations to take form. We have seen how the power of assumption shapes our reality, how mental discipline strengthens our resolve, and how living in the end allows us to experience our desires as already fulfilled. We delved into the significance of imagination as a creative force, recognizing that it blurs the lines between the possible and the impossible. Emotional alignment reinforces our intentions, while unwavering faith propels us through challenges, instilling a sense of certainty in the unfolding of our desires. Moreover, we explored the concept of the 3-day rule, understanding that our thoughts can manifest quickly when we maintain focus and energy. Inner conversations serve as the backdrop for our reality, guiding our perceptions and experiences, while the release of effort reveals the delicate balance between trust and action. Each of these elements contributes to a holistic approach to manifestation, intertwining our thoughts, emotions, and actions in a harmonious dance of creation. As you embark on your own manifestation journey, remember that you hold the keys to your reality within you. The power lies not only in what you think, but in how consistently you choose to think it. Embrace the practice of repetition, allowing it to mold your beliefs and pave the way for your desires to materialize. Trust in the process, align with your emotional truth, and remain open to the possibilities that life presents. Your dreams are not distant delusions. They are invitations to explore the depths of your potential. With commitment and faith, you can manifest anything within 3 days, transforming your visions into tangible experiences. The journey begins now. Step forward with confidence, knowing that the universe is ready to respond to your intentions.